Eric, you have the individual immunity necklace. As always, you can give it up to somebody if you choose to.
And I know that actions do speak louder than words. I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
I don't even know what to say, but thank you.
My mother always told me, you may not be able to beat him with these all the time, but you can always beat him with this. Sorry.
You know, you're crazy. You officially go down as the dumbest survivor ever in the history of Survivor ever.
First vote, Eric. Parvati. Eric. 2 votes, Eric. 13th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Eric.
You guys drive me crazy.
Eric, the tribe has spoken.
Survivor Micronesia seemed like the perfect time to do another full-blown All-Star season. After all, it's been 8 seasons since Season 8 All-Stars. However, Survivor decided to pivot and said, what if we do fans versus favorites, half returning players and half newbies, with the new players seemingly being cast to just be slaughtered by the favorites? Can such a blatant advantage to returnees work in favor of the season as a whole? Let's find out. Number 1, the thematic twist. Fans versus favorites, a theme that easily could have backfired with the wrong cast, or if one side just completely obliterated the other so that the season was utterly predictable. The fact that we had 3 fans and 3 favorites at the final 6, and the only reason the fans didn't gain control is because Amanda played an idol, is mind-blowing to me. What could have been? Now let's think about this. If Amanda doesn't play an idol, then the winner is likely coming from the group of Natalie, Alexis, Eric, or Sari. What could have been? The fans being so naive though, made for entertaining television, and the group of favorites that were picked mostly made sense. All in all, the twist was a huge success, and the thematic twist for Survivor Micronesia gets a perfect 10 out of 10. By the way, do you want to pick what videos I make and see them all up to 6 months early? Then join so many others over on Patreon. You can sign up and cancel anytime, and if you do join for a year, you get a 15% discount. Link in the description. Thank you for your support. Number 2, production quality.
Taking a lesson from Yao Man in Fiji, I'm just gonna try and fashion some sort of fake idol. This is Eeyore, the immunity idol, the fake immunity idol. God, I hope someone finds it and tries to play it.
The storytelling this season is superb. Were some players basically purpled like Natalie? Yeah, but it was for the benefit of much more interesting storylines. I appreciated the return to Palau and even seeing some challenges return from that season, but this does feel like a missed opportunity to have someone back from that season like an Ian or Kobe or Stephanie. Or even Wanda. Maybe they asked everyone from that season and they said no. I don't know, but I do know that Tom was asked and he declined before they decided to do no winners. Either way, the show has never looked better in standard definition. Though what you are seeing here is AI upscaled footage, as I've been doing this since China, but even when it isn't upscaled, it looks leagues better than what Palau looked like, and it's the same location, same beaches and everything, due to color choices and color grading in my personal opinion. The challenges are fun. It looks great. Jeff gives some excellent snark this season, as this is Jeff in his prime as the host, and Exile Island has finally been made relevant for more than just 1 or 2 episodes in a season, unlike how it was previously utilized. So why can't I give this a perfect score? Well, the 2 medical evacuations could have been avoided, and the surprise final 2 could have been avoided as a result. Medical took far too long to see James with his initial cut and Penner with his initial puncture, and when they finally did see them, it ended up being too late. Now, I'm no medical expert, I can't say that was the end-all be-all, but it seemed like, why are they waiting so long to go see these guys when they have such blatant injuries? For Survivor Micronesia, the production quality scores a 9 out of 10. Number 3, strategic play.
If anybody has the hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. The rules of Survivor state that if a hidden immunity idol is played, then any votes cast against that person do not count.
you go, baby. Well, I guess this is the hidden immunity idol. It's not much, but it's the carving of a piece of wood with a little guy on it, and this is pretty incredible. So, you know, I'm gonna have to hold on to this tight. This means Ozzy doesn't have it. I have it, so this is really good for me.
Eliza's getting voted out. Eliza has been my biggest rival, I think, since the beginning of this game. It's in my bag.
That's on your finger.
This isn't it. This is so stupid. This is just a napkin. What are you trying to pull? I'm going home anyhow. Why? It's not the idol.
It is the idol.
It's not the idol.
Yes, it is.
Ozzy must have put it in there. He must have the real thing. That's not the idol.
What is it?
It's a stick.
I know. It has a face on it. Don't worry.
Ozzy put it on there, made a face on it.
No, he didn't.
It's not the idol.
Why do you say that?
Because that can't be the idol.
Why not?
Because it's just a stick.
I know.
This is not a hidden immunity idol.
That means Ozzy has it. Jason found it on Exile.
Jeff, come on. That took hours to make.
I mean, I couldn't show Ozzy planting the fake idol earlier and not show Jason being utterly fooled by a stick with a face on it. It is true, the strategy of the season is top notch, but that is all due to casting fans who fall for the nonsense time and time again. Though I will give the fans credit, Eric does beat Amy strategically before the merge. Alexis does steal Amanda's man for one night. Natalie pulls one over on Jason and Eric. Eric goes on a 3-win immunity streak, and at the final 6, if it weren't for a surprise idol, the fans may have won the game. But it is the crazy gameplay by the favorites and the ruthlessness by the women that made this season what it is. How the Black Widow Brigade put their foot down on the men's throats and wouldn't take no for an answer was mind-blowing, as they blindsided the men while doing it. It wasn't like Boston Rob, who just like let people know this is what's happening. No, they did it in such a fun manner that it was like hard not to appreciate it. Never before have we seen such ruthlessness combined with such fun. As I mentioned, Boston Rob was ruthless, Todd was snarky, Brian Heidik was just evil, but here it feels fun. Kind of like if Sandra had this kind of power in Pearl Islands. I think she would have had a lot of fun doing the same thing. She would have totally been part of this Black Widow Brigade. Fun in a way that no winner prior has had while also being evil, at least not in my opinion. I give the strategic play of Survivor Micronesia a perfect 10 out of 10. Number 4, the characters.
The most infamous of all survivors, Johnny Fairplay, who already looks intoxicated.
I wanted to throw up when I saw Johnny Fairplay. He's a pig. He's a loser pig. I would just love one moment to kick him. One moment just to kick him hard in the shin.
So, Fairplay, are you dressing like me?
You want to know what you're playing for?
I'm actually impressed. I like to know that you have aspirations to get out of your current place in life.
Wow.
Do you like villains? Well, if you want to enjoy the characters of Survivor Micronesia, you better. Now, what I said is deja vu because I said the exact same thing about China, and once again, it's applicable here. Something about Amanda and James must bring out the villains in everyone. Wink, wink, nod, nod to a future season. From Fairplay being cocky to Penner being Penner, to the rivalry of Joel and Chet, to Kathy being a nut, to Eliza and raging Parvati, to Ozzy being arrogant, to Jason being a lovable goof, to James once again not understanding how to win the game, to Alexa stealing Amanda's man, to Eric being a lovable goof who could have won, to Natalie being the ultimate evil for at least 3 or 4 episodes, to Sari being a Rob mastermind, to Amanda still blowing Final Tribal and not learning anything, and Parvati evolving not only as a strategist but as a character. This cast is loaded, and all of the best characters, minus Fairplay and Penner, make it far enough to have a worthwhile storyline. Unlike in All-Stars, in Guatemala, I can't argue with any of the choice returnees here. They're all solid. Though, if they had done a full All-Star season, I do wish they had brought back Stephanie LaGrossa, or Dreams, or Terry Dietz, or Courtney Yates. Thankfully, we do see 3 of those 4 people on later seasons. All in all, great work across the board here. It seems like Survivor's only improved since the disaster that was season 14. The character score here gets twice the weight, and the characters get a 9 out of 10. Number 5, the winner.
I looked at the party and we were like, run, Eric! I was so nervous. I was hyperventilating, and like all of us.
When Eric made it, I jumped up like I didn't scream though.
The plan is in play.
It's like the Black Widow Brigade. Like all the girls are coming together and we're spinning the guys around as much as we can, just spinning them until they don't know which way's up. And then we're devouring them one at a time.
I love Parvati as a character this season. She even acknowledges this in the show, but Cook Island's Parvati lacked depth. However, in this season, we saw a lot more of her beyond just being a flirt. I love me a good villain in this game, who is also having fun with what they are doing and at the same time doesn't suck the soul out of the season. Her gameplay is actually quite similar to Boston Robin All-Stars, except Parvati doesn't ruin everyone else's fun at the expense of her own game and story. But the biggest knock against her is, despite running the successful Black Widow Alliance, is that a final 3 almost would have made her lose. We can't say for sure, but let's run through some scenarios here. Starting at the final 5, if Eric keeps winning immunities and sits next to Parvati and Amanda, I think she loses. Amanda's getting James and Ozzy's votes no matter what. If Natalie sits next to Amanda and Parvati, I think Natalie might steal a few fans' votes to her, and as we mentioned, Amanda's getting those 2 other votes guaranteed. There's only 8 jurors. If Suri's in the final 3, I think Suri gets some votes and likely wins. Parvati lucked out big time with this surprise final 2, though like all winners, she needed luck to win. That's just the nature of the game. But Parvati gets props. She was a powerful player with a fun story. So for me, Parvati's winning game and story gets a 7 out of 10. So is Survivor Micronesia worth watching? Absolutely. If you want to watch it and you haven't seen the prior seasons for whatever reason, I recommend watching every season, of course, in order. But if you just want to watch this season, you gotta watch seasons 9, 12, 13, and 15 first, since the major returnees come from said seasons. Survivor knocked it out of the park on casting, smart game decisions, and a beautiful location to reuse in Palau. That is something All-Stars failed at when they reused the Pearl Islands. I can 100% see why they reuse this theme with fans versus favorites later on, and I hope to see another iteration again in the future. For me, Survivor Micronesia's overall score is a 9 out of 10. Tune in next time as Survivor enters the HD era and also has its biggest train wreck of all time with Season 17, Gabon. Thank you for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. See you all next time.